The differentiation of public and private space. This is not the place for that conversation. Save it for after class. The teacher stood over my desk, not pleased that my friend and I had been whispering about the concert occurring later that night, instead of engaging in the material and taking notes during her lecture. Similar scenarios can be found in a variety of locations. At the office, supervisors would be angered at the decrease in productivity if employees spent their working hours detailing their weekend plans instead of accomplishing the task at hand. At the same time, many couples ban cell phones from the dinner table so individuals are not tempted to sacrifice family time in order to communicate with work. So, what is the underlying principle? Appropriateness of communication is dependent on the given context. The social world is divided into two spheres, the public domain and the private domain. The public domain protects and promotes the good of diversity, especially giving a voice to those who are marginalized and cannot physically join the conversation. The private domain, on the other hand, protects and promotes the good of commonality, or shared interests and practices among like-minded individuals. Each of the spheres informs and shapes the other. Private positions bring different perspectives to public positions, just as public positions bring new understandings to private positions. This differentiation between public and private is imperative to encourage an atmosphere where individuals welcome and learn from diversity. The dilemma is, the current era is characterized by an excessive overlapping of the spheres, resulting in major ethical violations. The first problem is that the private is infused into the public. The private arena is distinctive in that its information ought to be shared only with a select few. Nowadays, however, public outlets such as social media, entertainment news stations, and reality shows like Jersey Shore and The Bachelor disseminate intimate details of their participants for the enjoyment of the masses. With every personal moment, from heated conflicts to sexual encounters to childbirth broadcasted to the world, the private and public domains cease to exist as independent entities. The second problem is that the public is infused into the private. The widespread usage of technologies such as computers and cell phones has led workplaces to expect that their employees are available around the clock, even if off-shift emails and calls infringe on private time with family and friends. As individuals remain constantly connected to their public persona, both in and out of the public work setting, the boundary between public and private life once again becomes blurred. In the 2001 Disney film, The Princess Diaries, Mia Thermopolis finds out from her grandmother that she is the Princess of Genovia, which, since her dad's passing, means she is the next heir to the throne. Although she attempts to keep her royal status a secret, the news soon spreads around town. Mia suddenly goes from being invisible to having the world watch her every move.
Mia, the coast is clear. They're gone. Yeah. Oh, good. So what do you say we go find a more romantic spot? Okay.
Princesses, left the building.
In this clip, her dating life, private sphere, is made public by the media when reporters crash a beach party she is attending, photograph her kissing her longtime crush, and ask his name and the nature of their relationship. The sanctity of her private connection is jeopardized because before she has the opportunity to be aware of her own feelings, the media invites a multiplicity of opinions from outsiders. Susan Gall agrees that it is difficult to determine where the public sphere ends and the private sphere begins, and vice versa, as the boundaries of both domains are continuously being renegotiated. Drawing on the concept of fractal recursivity, she argues that there are public aspects within every private arena and private aspects within every public arena, and it is one's perspective that influences the ultimate public versus private label. What is viewed as private in one context may be thought of as public in another. For example, is the home a public or private domain? It depends on the scale of comparison. If the point of reference is the town, the street is public while the home is private. If instead the point of reference is the home, segments of the dwelling, such as the living room, are public, while other rooms, like the bedroom, are private. As you can see, there is no stable definition of what encompasses public and private life. The two domains are fluid, impacted by both internal and external sources. Although the recent trend has been toward a merging of public and private spheres, it is important to keep them as distinct as possible to retain a diversity of opinions in society. Which Venn diagram best describes the intersection of public and private in your life? Since you can control the information that is divulged to the outside world through a variety of mediums, cherish the private with a limited number. A differentiation of the spheres can thus begin from within.